Hi friends. This session today is dedicated to one of our user called Alia. So I'm quickly waiting for a few of our users to come join us. I hope you guys are liking PWIP. There's a lot of knowledge that we want to keep sharing for say in terms of rice knowledge, in terms of how to do exports, right? So as I see, many of you are joining, so I'll quickly kind of start what we want to share today. So, one of our user called Alia had two questions. One is how to send samples in the field of exports, right? And the other one is how to maintain quality, right? So, in the sense that, say, for example, if you are sending a shipment from the rice miller or from the factory, you might get a sample from the processor saying that this is the quality we are shipping. But what is the guarantee that the same cargo is going in the container? Or say for example, in today's scenario you're not able to travel, but then still how do you get control? So let's quickly address these two questions, my friends. So the first question is how to send samples, what are the procedures, right? So if you are sending a food product or a agri commodity, so nowadays it has become very important that you have to take phytosanitary certificate. Normally, which are the courier services that you can use? The known ones are DHL, FedEx, these are the known companies, and then you can definitely use some of local services also, which have tie up with international couriers. Like for example, if you're using, say, professional courier, DTDC, they also do send foreign shipments in as a courier, but they tie up with somebody. So let's consider DHL and FedEx. Right. So if you're considering DHL, nowadays DHL says that they need a phytosanitary certificate for that particular sample, if it is a food or agri commodity. I am not very sure, my friends, if that is a phytosanitary certificate is required for if you're sending a cloth sample, if you're sending a handicraft sample, or any other product that you have which is non-food. So for food, this is the procedure that you will have to have phytosanitary certificate. And then how do you get this phytosanitary certificate? So the way you can get phytosanitary certificate is that it has to come from it has to come from it has to come from the government department, right? So phytosanitary certificate, it comes from a government department. How do you apply, right? So in your city, wherever you are, my friends, say in a tier 1 city or a tier 2 city, there will be a phytosanitary department close to you, right? You can go through them, but I can suggest you a very easy method of getting a phytosanitary certificate, which is your CHA, right? So what you need to do is your CHA, your partner, your CHA who is going to handle your shipments, he is anyway applying phytosanitary certificate for the export shipments that you have to send, right? So for him it will be much easier to get a phytosanitary certificate for sample, right? So if it is, for example, rice sample, spices sample, pulses samples, right? So you have to send a sample of one packet, say 100 grams, to your CHA, and CHA will take that sample. He will need a invoice. Invoice is nothing but you'll just say that, okay, exporter is so and so, in importer is so and so, the cargo value 0. What is the cargo? It is just 100-gram rice or 100-gram spices or 100-gram pulses. They will, this is what they will, you have to mention there. It's a just simple invoice, right? And then your CHA will get it within one day. He will get you the phytosanitary certificate, and he will then courier it over to you. That phytosanitary certificate is required along with the documents that you need to submit to a CHA, sorry, DHL, right? So now DHL needs a few more documents along with your phytosanitary certificate, right? So what is it? I will tell you. Now for DHL, you have to give one invoice, the same invoice which you made for phytosanitary certificate, which says the sample value is zero, sample cargo is of zero value. So that is what you can actually mention there. So you will have a invoice is one. Then you will have a non-hazardous document. You will have one more document which says that this is a sample, this is rice, this is crop. It is a simple one page document. All these documents a DHL will can give it to you, or you can even take it from online on Google also. You can get these documents, right? So there is a invoice, there is a non-hazardous document, and then there is a one page document which will say this is rice, say which crop, which year, and things like that. There will be a date on that. Non-hazardous means it's just a declaration, my friends, saying that this is rice, this is not having any commercial value, this is non-hazardous. There is a standard format, you just have to sign it, then you don't have to do anything, right? Only invoice is the one which you prepare, my friends, putting exporter and importer details. But other two, which is there, is just pretty standard format. You can just sign it, and give it to DHL, right? But along with this, what will DHL need is your company incorporation certificate, your GST certificate, your import export certificate, your PAN card copy. All this copy is what they require. You have to sign and seal on all the documents as a self attestation, and then you have to submit this along with your sample that you are submitting to DHL. Is as easy as that. DHL will need two sets of these documents. Whatever you prepare, just prepare two sets, so and give it to them, so that one will be submitted and will remain with DHL, and the other docs will be going along with the courier, right? So courier has different rates. Say for example, they have a particular rate for 500 grams, they have a particular rate for 1 kg if you are sending. Now this weight is your sample weight plus that documents also, my friend. So the sample documents might be say 100 or 200 grams. So if you are sending 800 gram sample, you please consider this as 200 or 200 gram, which will also be added into your weight, so your charges will go on that, right? So this is about samples, my friends. How to send samples, what is the procedure to send samples? As I told you, I'm just quickly summarizing. You have to first get phytosanitary certificate. I'm not sure if the same is for non-food items, but for food items you will have to get a phytosanitary certificate. You will have to send it to if you want to get it super fast, you will have to send it to your CHA, a small sample. He will get, and an invoice, he will get the phytosanitary certificate for you. Or if you directly go to the you can directly apply as well. There is a phytosanitary government website where you have to go, you create your user ID, login, and then apply from there, and then take the printout and go to that government office. This can, because you're not used to it, this can be a little bit of time consuming. So if you have time, you should definitely explore it. Otherwise, if it is super urgent, your CHA will just get it done for you in just one day, right? So this is about sending samples and the procedure, my friends. And the second question asked by Alia was, how do we control quality, in the sense that, say, let's assume that, let's take an example of rice as a product. So Alia booked, for example, 2 containers, say 50 metric tons of Sona Masuri rice from a miller in Raichur, for example, right? But Alia, say, for example, is based out of Delhi. Okay. Now, since the cargo is booked in Raichur, since the rice miller is in Raichur, you have two choices, right? You can either take it to the Mumbai port or Chennai port. Assume that you decide to take it to Chennai port, right? So you're in Delhi, you book the rice from Raichur in Karnataka, and the cargo is going to Chennai port. Now, in all of this, how do you actually maintain, or how do you assure assured of the quality, right? If you ask the miller might say that I have put very good quality, or the miller might send, you might ask for your miller to courier you the samples. The samples might come to you. How do you really know whether this same sample kind of rice has gone into the container? So it can become tricky, right? So the simple thing, if you are not able to go, if you are not able to send, what normally exporters do is that they appoint a third party inspection company, right? I have told you earlier also, my friends, there are third party inspection companies like SGS, Geochem, right? SGS does a good job, right? So what you have to do is you have to contact SGS. They will send a person to the rice mill. What this surveyor who gets appointed goes to the rice mill. He checks the rice, he sees the rice, he sees the quality, he makes an assessment of the quality. How is the look of the rice, what is the moisture content, what is the broken percentage, what is the chalky in the rice, what is discolored and damaged percentage of the rice grain, how is the whiteness, is it looking whiter, it is looking dull, whether it has any kind of insects or weevils, live or dead. All this thorough investigation happens by taking multiple lots, my friends. And you can have double assurity here. Once the cargo then has gone from the mill to say Chennai CFS, right, container freight station, right? So there what happens, the truck is unloaded, and then your CHA does a few procedures, right? He applies for phytosanitary certificate, and what he also does is he will get your custom clearance done, and then he will call for empty containers. He will get the stuffing of rice done into the empty containers. At all this point you need somebody to assess quality, right? आपको अगर इसका पूरा कंट्रोल चाहिए, तो मेरा एडवाइस ये है कि आप दोनों जगह पे आप सर्वेयर को अपॉइंट करें, राइट? तो आपका एक है कि सर्वेयर मिल में करेगा और एक वो चेन्नई पोर्ट में आएगा. इन द पोर्ट अगेन माय फ्रेंड, what your surveyor of SGS or Geochem will do is they will count the number of bags came, they will cross check the weight of the cargo, then they will again do a assessment of what was the moisture, broken percentage, chalky, dead or live weevils, discolor percentage, damage percentage. All this is check happens again there. So random checking happens there, and then they will also, you have to request them to send you samples. So they have to send you samples of what has gone into the container. So they're because why, I'll tell you, my friends, even if you have appointed, for example, a surveyor at the mill, right? So your surveyor goes to the mill, he does all the quality check, and he goes home, and the container is supposed to be loaded, the truck is supposed to be loaded in the night that day or the next day early morning, right? So SGS might not be available at that time. So once SGS goes and he approves or rejects the quantity, the quality of the rice, after that what the miller really loads that same cargo, or if he loads another different cargo which is not checked, we never know, right? It can happen. So there is a loophole is what I'm trying to say, right? So then your cargo, again the checking happens there at the at the port, at the CFS, right? So there you again get the quality analysis done, and then they will send you the samples, my friends, right? So this is how you can do. I hope, Alia, I have answered your questions. To all the other users who are watching me and trying to get some knowledge out of this, I will want to suggest you something, that if you want to become a very big exporter, if you want to grow your exports from say 1-2 containers a month to 10 to 20 containers a month to hundreds of containers a month, right? So what you need to do is you need to appoint this surveyor as much as possible. Adding a surveyor means they are going to charge you, which means you have to add this cost on to your pricing, right? So it might be $1 or $2 extra to do this quality, but trust me, my friends, this is the best thing that you can do, because you have total control. So if you're say doing shipments from Kolkata, you're doing shipments from Andhra, Karnataka, Punjab, Haryana, so you cannot go everywhere, you cannot have your people everywhere. So third party inspection companies are always already on the field. Take their services. It's not 100% foolproof, but I would say it is 80 to 90% foolproof. So you will get some control, and you can get some clarity and transparency of what you do, right? So I have a few people here watching. I hope, guys, you don't have any questions. If you have any question, please feel free to write in a comment, or you can write in a comment later, and we will come up with questions and answers for you. This is it for today. If there is no any other questions, my friends, this is it for today. We covered how procedure for sending export samples, and we sent you, and we have discussed today of how to control quality at the mill as well as at the port, right? So I hope, Alia, I hope you like the answer. I hope all you guys watching me like what we do at PWIP. It's our greatest mission to help exporters, or millers or users or importers or buyers or traders, with content that they with questions that they have, right? So I have a question coming here from Pranay, who is asking what is the best Incoterm for rice export. So, what is the best Incoterm for rice exports? So, see, Incoterms, whether be it CIF, CFR, CNF, or 2010, 2020, right? So, I am assuming that what is the good payment terms is what along with Incoterms is what Pranay is asking. So what is the best payment term for rice export? See, whether it is rice or any other commodity or any other product that we are into exports, it is always the best payment terms is always that there is a 10 or 20% advance that a buyer gives. You prepare the cargo, you take it to the port, issue the BL, and once you get the BL, you send the BL to the customer, and then you ask for the balance payment. Once the balance payment comes, you release the BL to the buyer, right? This could be one of the best payment terms. But lot of importers, my friends, also are a little bit hesitant, because they also are at risk. What if somebody want to place an order of 10 containers, and then they give you a advance of 10 percent, and then you take the advance and then you don't do the shipment, right? I mean, that there is a risk involved for them too. So you will find a lot of customers who will say that, I'm not going to give you any advance, but I will definitely pay you on BL. So if you want to take this order, prepare the shipment and send it, and you show me the BL, I'll make the payment and take the cargo, right? But there are customers who are also saying that I will not pay you on BL, because how I will pay you, and then what if in the cargo what comes is very bad quality. I have already paid you. How can I safeguard myself? So they will ask that, you make the shipment, you release the surrender the BL, I will clear the container, I will see the container, check the cargo, check the quality, and then make the payment, right? So there are some customers who will say that this is my payment terms. If you want to supply, you supply, otherwise never mind, right? So it is purely your call. I orders like that for this time, for the start, if you are a starter, because then you probably don't know what is the risk that is waiting, right? So first is at least take, even if there is no advance, take a order which is payment terms on BL. Just do one container and then see how the response is. Try to kind of take baby steps, and then try to grow, is what I would say. But you should have definitely made your background search of the buyer with ECGC, or with Dun and Bradstreet, or with some amount of Google search, some amount of references check, something like this you can definitely do, my friends, right? So I don't see any more questions. I'm signing off, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. We will come up with more content like this. Please, 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 if you have any comments, any questions, please leave it here, so that we will come up with answers for you on this, right? Thank you so much, my friends. Thank you. Bye.